Let me hold your hand when I say this. You are being set up for failure by some of your favorite UGC coaches. And to be fair, they're not trying to set you up for failure. However, because of their lack of experience in the industry, they're doing this indirectly. Let's talk about it. Today, I want to focus on what you should be charging as a UGC creator, starting out as a newbie, intermediate, working your way up to advanced, and onward. It's important to keep in mind that as marketers, our goal is to sell stuff. So when there's a coach selling a PDF guide, a course, they're going to talk about the absolute maximum upside that you could expect if you became successful at UGC. Because of that, newbie creators have this expectation that's been set up by these coaches that they're going to start getting paid $400+ per video without any prior knowledge or experience. And that's just the furthest from the truth. Now, this is just like kind of a guesstimate, but based on my observations from 2024 and 2025, the average price I was paying per concept was roughly between $300 and $600. And this isn't like a bunch of newbie creators. These are intermediate, advanced creators that have been in the space for years now. Also, I would know this because I've been accepting work between $500 and $750 a concept, which is technically on the lower end as compared to like 2022, 2023. I'm not saying I don't get jobs for over $1,000 because it does happen. It's just that the average price that I'm accepting now is within that price range. And there's a lot of reasons why. For me, at least, I've done it for a few different reasons. One, if it's a brand that I want to work with and I'm willing to negotiate a rate that still feels fair for my time, but is less than my normal asking price. If it's a referral from a point of contact, sometimes I just accept the project as long as the rate is obviously like worth my time without negotiating to get it to like closer to the rate on my rate card or the estimate I would normally give for the scope of work. And that's really just because your network is your net worth. And when I have points of contacts that are recommending me to other people at other brands and agencies, I'm willing to be more flexible because I want to make sure that I maintain this relationship. And then the elephant in the room that no one seems to be talking about, guys, we have been dealing with what feels like a looming recession since COVID era, and it's being absolutely expedited going into 2025. From an unbiased, nonpartisan perspective, the economy is not doing so hot right now, which is another reason why I'm willing to make exceptions and bid with these brands because I understand that money is tight right now. And on top of that, the shelf life of ads on Meta is shorter than ever. Running ads on Facebook, on Instagram has never been more competitive than it is today. I don't work with small brands with small budgets. I'm working with brands that are spending over $100 million a year on Meta alone. And these are the brands that are experiencing these roadblocks in performance, which is why when I see UGC coaches who are only coaches now, rarely take on UGC work and have only been in the space for less than 3 years, who have never been on the brand side, hiring UGC creators, familiar with brand budgets, understanding what's happening internally, telling you as a newbie creator to expect whatever rates you should be charging. When I would argue those rates are actually for intermediate creators and even sometimes advanced creators. I'm not here to obviously talk shit on anyone, but this is just an observation that I've been seeing taking place. And I'm not saying my word is truth. However, when you're looking at all the coaches out there, I've been in the industry for over 10 years. And I'm not just coming from the creator side, even though that alone, being on this side for 10 years, is an accomplishment in and of itself. Building multiple six-figure businesses over the course of a decade. I also come from the brand side, specifically the corporate side, where I've worked internally as creative director, as head of performance creative, as director of creative strategy. Again, I didn't hear about UGC 2 to 3 years ago. I also didn't try out UGC for a few months and then start selling a guide and then stop taking on jobs. And I'm also not quoting numbers out of thin air with no experience from the brand side. And unfortunately, a lot of these coaches, guys, they don't actually understand direct response marketing and how platforms like Meta work. The same coaches that were pushing perpetual ownership is like the worst thing in the world are now the ones that are setting up newbie creators for absolute failure when it comes to price point. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to perpetual ownership, I'm going to link it in the description below. You're going to want to check out this video. It's super brief and super insightful. The TLDR is that anyone that made perpetual ownership a scary thing is an absolute idiot because as UGC creators with no legitimate name or likeness, in the sense of when you're seen in the ad, we're not like, that's Kelly Rockline. And I actually actually kind of have a presence online. Like, if you look me up online, you will see me. But even me, I'm not operating under ego. I understand I'm just a person. Even with UGC Pro, even with my presence online, I'm still just a person. So the coaches that have been scaring the crap out of you about perpetual ownership, saying that they're going to run your ads until you die. Guys, brands don't even last that long. Ads don't even last that long. And this goes back to these coaches do not know everything. And unfortunately, they position themselves as if they do. Something that I've learned as a coach in the space is that you can be really good at social media, posting, have so much more time on your hands to focus on these things. And that presence you build online then has your audience thinking, oh, this person knows exactly what they're talking about. They're just really good at marketing themselves and they have a lot more time than, say, the other coaches that are in the thick of it actually doing the services that we're teaching on. All that goes to say, I ended up filming a video where I break down how to hit those $10,000 months, starting out as a beginner UGC creator, working your way up to intermediate, and then onward. If you end up having any follow-up questions, be sure to comment them down below and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Here is the math behind how you can make $10,000 months with UGC. $10,000 months are the North Star for anyone that's starting UGC. And I know this because it was my goal too when I first started. And it sounds so out of reach, especially when you start, because you're just hoping to get one client that's going to pay you $200+ per video, let alone $400 to $500+ per video, frequently enough to hit the $10,000 marker. But just for the sake of math, let's break down what a $10,000 month could be for a beginning UGC creator, an intermediate UGC creator, and an advanced UGC creator. $10,000 in a month divided by, let's say, $200. How many videos would you have to make as a beginner UGC creator to hit this? It's gonna be a lot. I wanna say it's around 40 videos. 50 videos. It's not all that realistic to do that many videos in a month. So for the sake of someone that's just starting out, let's say $5,000 is the goal. 5,000 divided by $200 per video, that's 25 videos. As a beginning UGC creator, it's probably not that likely you're even gonna get 25 video opportunities to make this much money. Let's make it even more realistic, $2,500. So 2,500 divided by 200 per video, around 12 to 13 videos in 1 month, which I think is doable, but that's probably the maximum you're gonna get starting out. But imagine the compound effect begins to work in your favor the more that you're flexing this UGC muscle, the more outreach you're doing, the more personal branding you're building to increase the likelihood of inbounds. Maybe you even made a LinkedIn and all of a sudden you have brands coming knocking on your door. During those $2,500 months, you start to build up the skill sets to start charging more. So all of a sudden you start charging, let's say, $350 per concept. And you work your way up to $5,000 months. So 5,000 divided by $350, around 14 videos. And you were doing 12 to 13 a few months prior, and now all of a sudden you're doing almost the same amount of work, but you're getting paid double. You do that for a few months, and then all of a sudden, you start to see the results of the compound effect working in your favor yet again. Because of the demand, you have to raise your rates. So now you're going to start charging $450 per concept. So let's say you make it to $7,500 in 1 month. That's 16 to 17 videos per month. So all of a sudden, you're only making like 4 more videos than when you first started, but you're making 3 times that amount. And fast forward a year plus later, you're able to charge $750 per concept because of the amount of experience, practice, and overall skill refinement to charge accordingly. So let's say $10,000 month divided by $750. That's 13 videos. The exact amount that you started out with, but we're only making $2,500. But because you've been able to refine your skill sets, now you're making a little shy of 5 times more than what you started with. And honestly, those numbers are accurate because that was basically my trajectory as a UGC creator. The only difference is when I started back in 2014, there were no tutorials on UGC. So it took me about a decade to get to where I am today. But we have students who are now doing this in a matter of 6 to 12 months. Students who have given testimonials about their experience with our UGC University. It's It's a 9-hour video course created for both new and advanced UGC creators looking to take their business to the next level. And the reason why I encompass advanced creators is because even the most advanced creator is likely only 2 to 3 years in to UGC. Whereas the two people that walk you through the course sharing their experience, myself, 10 plus years of experience, and my co-founder and fiance, Shane, 10 plus years of relevant direct response marketing experience. So that's 20 years of relevant experience talking about UGC, creative strategy, and direct response marketing. I can promise you that if you take this course as an advanced creator, you are gonna learn so many new things that you can apply to your business to start making even more money. Because the goal at the end of the day is to be able to charge more and work less. So if you're watching this and you're curious about this UGC University, comment University, and I will send you a direct link to this 9-hour video course. All right, and that's today's video. If you guys have any follow-up questions, comment them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you are and turn on post notifications. We post every Monday and Friday. Some really exciting events that are coming up. I'm going to be a headlining speaker for Motion's 2025 Make Ads That Convert virtual event. I'll be linking that in the description along with a link to add yourself to the waitlist for Creator Confidential's tickets that are going to be going live in a matter of days. The event is going to be in Toronto, Canada on July 19th, and I am so excited to not only be attending for another year, but also be an official speaker and founder of Creator Confidential. Last year, I was invited to be a guest speaker, and since then, I've been brought onto the team as a founding member, and I am so passionate about the work that we're doing and building an in real life community for UGC creators and creative strategists. Thanks again for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one.